Okay, now we are on the air. Hi, Kate.
Hello, Aya. I'm here and looking forward to tonight's broadcast where I will be talking a little about my very traumatic and confusing childhood, parts of which were so confusing that the therapists didn't even want to know and kept asking me, couldn't I please have some other collection of problems instead?
Wow, that's interesting when a therapist rejects your problems.
Well, it wasn't so much that they believed that they weren't real. A couple of them did initially think I must be making this up, but that they just didn't know. It just wasn't something they'd ever studied, and I I have kept for many years that I kept running into therapists who literally said, well, one of them said, I'm referring you to someone else, and I don't think he knows any more about this than I do, but I don't want you in my office, but I think you need help. Another one said, I would refer you to someone else, except I don't have any other colleagues that I hate enough to refer you to them. I have had people literally tell me, therapists and other counselors of various sorts tell me, oh, yeah, I know that there isn't anything really for this problem, not that I know of anyway, but I could refer you to a support group for something that's not your problem, that's very remote from your problem, but you need to be in a support group, and there's no problem that has a support group that actually is your problem. So I'm just basically sending you somewhere. Now, this was very disturbing. I would say the most disturbing one was the person who said, I really have no idea what to do for you. That wouldn't make it worse. However, I think you need to be in therapy, so keep showing up. Well, of
Um,
course, I didn't.
yeah, well, those people sound like very self-serving therapists.
Now, I
Um,
wouldn't mind if he was self serving as long as he was self serving by serving his clients, because that's how this is supposed to work. But that didn't happen. And it was not exclusively a therapy problem, because it was generated by things in real life outside my therapy. And there were probably appropriate people to talk to. But when I tried to find them and talk to them, I got very much the same response. There were people who were not therapists, who were in a position where they admitted, yes, we have to deal with this. This is a problem that's in our backyard, so to speak, but we don't know how to deal with this. So we'll just tell you we're really sorry. We're really sad. We hope it gets straightened out for you, but we don't really have anything. But please don't hate us on that account. Let's just say it's very difficult. I don't hate people just for not having a solution, but I hate people who say, we don't have a solution, but we want you to behave as if we had a solution, and we want you to benefit as if we had a solution.
okay, and before we sign off right now, are you also going to talk a little bit about handwriting? Because I know you are an expert.
Well, certainly I will. I would love to talk about that. We might want to do another session just on that, because these two are very disparate issues, of course. Although I will tell you that part of my psychological problem was huge bullying issues, and some of the bullying was instigated by my having, at the time, very poor handwriting, which was really not a functional skill for me until I self remediated at age 24. But let's just say that I was not only abused by teachers and parents over my poor handwriting, among many other things, but with the handwriting, as with other things, there were actually situations where the teachers would encourage or require classmates to bully and attack me.
Wow, that's terrible.
It's not something, again, it's not something that's supposed to happen. I literally have had people tell me, therapists or others with whom I might have had to share my story. Oh, why couldn't you just, be raped or be the child of drug addicts or be something we know about? Why this? I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
just,
I
really think,
understand what you're saying because there are certain problems that people will acknowledge when we have them, but if we have a problem they've never heard of, or they just can't acknowledge it.
it was, yes, it was partly that they couldn't acknowledge it, partly that when they were forced to, they had to say, oh my God, I don't know anything to do about this, but oh my God, it's real. And partly that if I looked for help, if I said, well, you say I'm supposed to be in a support group and get this and that. Well, where is the resource? Where is the support group? Where is the resource? Where is so much as a book about this? They'd say, well, no, it doesn't exist. There's no grants, there's no government funding. There aren't enough people like you to be interested in this. Now, you could suggest that, oh yeah, maybe that just means I'm supposed to write my own books or my own resources, but not everyone is competent to do everything. Just because I could self remediate my own handwriting doesn't mean I can self remediate my own psychological problems. Asking me to do it might be a little like going into a medieval palace, finding the castrated harem guard, and telling him to write a sex manual. Now, he might have learned a lot from observation, but if you're, a eunuch, you're a castrated harem guard, that doesn't necessarily. I would suspect that a sex manual written by a eunuch would lack a certain something. And
I would imagine so.
I'm not saying that I'm a eunuch in any way. This is simply an analogy that the person who has the problem isn't always the one who should be required or who could solve the problem. Someone who is dying of scurvy is not necessarily going to be the first one to synthesize vitamin C.
Agreed. Agreed.
Okay.
Okay, well, I think that gives us an idea of what we'll be talking about tonight.
Thank you.
So everybody, please stay tuned, and Kate Gladstone will be our guest with Julia Hanna on the other channel. So I look forward to talking to you more tonight, Kate.
Thank you so much. See you tonight. Thank you.
Bye-bye.